Yeah. Good morning, Mr. Brainerd.
Hello, Doc. I think you're muted.
Hello.
There.
Yes, sir.
Is that
There
any?
you go.
Holy cow. I got to turn my volume down. Y'all are blowing me out the window. Let's see. Oh, there. That's better. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you fine, Bill.
Okay, cool.
Adjust your camera so we can see the rest of your face.
Oh,
There
where
you go.
is it? Where is? Oh, look, there it is. You can tell I do these things all the time. No. But you know what? I think I'll go into this other room where it's maybe a little quieter. All right. There, how's that?
Good, good. Morning, Sean.
How are you,
All
Mr.
right.
Billingsley? Yes, sir. Up and down all night. I'm kind of walking tired. I've got a 3-week-old baby, so.
I've heard they get up in the middle of the night.
A couple times, yeah.
I remember those days.
It's great. I love it, but I'm up every hour of the day, so.
A little boy, a little girl?
Little girl.
Oh, cool. Well, congratulations.
Hey, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So if it's showing in my face, I'm sorry about that. But I'm here. I promise.
There you go. So how many are in this meeting today?
Eight so far.
I think everybody's on already that needs to be on. This is my first one, so you guys have to bear with me a little bit. John is going to be overseeing a lot of these today. I guess we'll get this meeting started. I'll do a roll call. So, Mr. Bob Witters.
Present.
Sean Sinclair.
Present.
Rod Billingsley.
Present.
Michael Montoya, counselor.
Present.
And William Brainerd.
I'm here.
Okay, so I guess we could go ahead and bring this meeting. Today's meeting is basically, I don't know if you guys got what we're gonna do today. So basically we're gonna go ahead and vote in our chairperson and our vice chair. And that will be through you guys. I don't know if you guys who you guys have in mind for the chairperson and the vice chair. And I leave it to you guys.
Who has the most time among this group?
I don't know.
I have 0 time.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I don't have much.
Yeah.
I would venture to say that Mr. Billingsley has the most time with the airport. I've been here 20 years, and in those 20 years, Mr. Billingsley has been present with that and flying for much more than that. So, as far as I know, he's probably has the most experience firsthand with the airport.
I was thinking more along the lines of time during the day and to commit to if there's, I guess there won't be a whole lot to do with this committee. I don't know, time-wise, demands on us as individuals with the committee.
I see.
And just those are my thoughts anyway.
I have a couple of questions that I may add. Councilman Montoya here. When was the last time we met or this committee has met, and how many times a year have we met?
And how many times a year will we be meeting?
I think it's been years since the committee's met. And
Agreed.
but I guess thinking kind of ahead, maybe a quarterly meeting was what I had kind of thought might be appropriate, Councilman.
Okay. Yeah, because I think that the chair will basically just more their responsibilities would be just to oversee the meeting, preside over the meeting itself. Staff would, anybody with any recommendations or items on the agenda, our staff would take care of those themselves. But it would have to be somebody just to run the meeting, basically, I would say.
Well, that's, yeah.
Somebody, a vice chair, who be able to jump in case that person can't run the meeting. But I don't think it'll take a whole lot of time. I agree with quarterly meetings. I think quarterly meetings are just fine.
Agreed.
Staff again would be in charge of publicizing it or put it on the website and stuff like that. So I don't think it would be like a big responsibility other than presiding over the meetings and running through the agenda.
I'd be happy to vice chair. This is just my first experience with a group like this and volunteering time, so I'm not sure that I am the right person to be the chair, but I'm a quick learner, so I'd be happy to be the backup if someone with more experience would lead the way, and maybe eventually I could even take over. But I'm new here, but I'm excited to be involved.
Well, I'll let you know that a little bit about my background. I was in the airport committee 20 years ago when I served a 4-year term as city councilman. I would recommend or suggest, and if anybody wants to put it in the form of a motion, that Rob would be our chair, and Sid Sinclair can be our vice chair. And if there's anybody other than have interest or that want to nominate somebody, I mean, that's free. Feel free to do that.
So that was Rod and Sean?
Yes.
Okay.
And do you two folks accept if you were nominated?
Well, I would, and I think Sean has indicated that he would. So,
Good.
yeah.
Okay.
Then I so move.
There you go. I second.
So we have a motion and a second for Rod Billingsley to be the chairperson and Mr. Sinclair to be the vice chair. So everybody on board?
Yes.
I vote yes.
Yes.
Mr. Witters? Your
Yes.
vote? Mr. Sinclair?
Yes.
Mr. Billingsley?
Yes.
Mr. Montoya?
My position in this board is simply an advisory to the board.
Okay.
I have no vote.
Okay, sir.
That's
And
my.
Mr. Brainier?
Yes.
Okay, so motion carries. Mr. Billingsley would be chairperson. Mr. Sean Sinclair would be vice chair. So now we got to discuss basically when you guys would like to have the meetings. I leave the chairperson to go ahead and see when you guys would like to have the meetings. Quarterly, monthly, every 6 months.
Well, John,
Quarterly, I think, was what the everybody seemed to so far agree upon. Is that accurate?
Correct.
I think that was
Yes.
sure my understanding. I think that's kind of consensus of the board. Is that, you guys agree with that? I'm seeing people nodding their heads, so let's assume
Yes.
that we're.
I move for quarterly.
There you go. Thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
So that brings us to what date and what time would work best. I know this was set up for Tuesday at 10 o'clock. is this a good time, or would any of the members suggest a better time? Bill, I see you shaking your head, so what
Yep.
would you suggest?
Mornings are just tough for me. I had a gunshot dog come in this morning and I had to put it on the back burner. I get a lot of that in the morning, and by afternoon, my day backs off a little bit. So mornings just in general for me are tough, and that's just my schedule.
Yes, sir.
So afternoons would be a whole lot better for me.
What time would you suggest, Bill?
3 o'clock on, it would be a kind of a better time for me, but that's just on my schedule.
Okay.
On Mondays and Tuesdays, I can make pretty much any time work. The rest of the week, it's a little tough for me, but afternoons on a Monday or Tuesday are good by me.
And for me, Mondays are better than Tuesdays. I have some involvement with the West Las Vegas School Board, and a lot of times that's on a Tuesday afternoon for me.
Okay. Monday afternoon is fine for me. Bill suggested 3 p.m.
And
Is
you
that-
know, that's just, I'll make it work. It's just what's more convenient for me, but I'll make whatever work.
Well, this is the second
Tuesday.
second Monday. So would we say the second Monday of each quarter? Would that be kind of the agreement of the board members?
I'm good with that.
I'm good. I'm good with that.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
Okay, so second Monday quarterly, which will be in July. I don't know, I might have to look at my calendar real quick. July the 12th at 3 o'clock. Would that work with you guys?
That's
That's
great.
good for me.
Okay, so I guess I have to make it official, so I stand the motion, Rob Billingsley, so it's gonna be July quarterly meetings at 3 o'clock every second Monday, so I send the motion, Mr. Witters,
Yes.
Mr. Sinclair,
Yes.
Mr. Billingsley,
Yes.
and Mr. Brainerd.
Yes.
Okay, motion stands. It'll be quarterly, starting on July the 12th at 3 p.m. The city will go ahead and send out an invite. And I guess the next would be, is, I don't have the agenda in front of me, but do you have it, John?
I do not.
I have a copy of the agenda, and I would suggest we go back to the first item on the agenda. It's called Introduction of Members, and I wonder if each member would kind of give a little of their background.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm a little new, only lived here for about 11 years.
Okay, let's start with Mr. Witters.
All right. I'm Bob. I'm retired. My wife and I moved here 11 years ago. We bought some land and we'd been living, and we had been coming here on vacation, moved here from Silicon Valley. My background with airplanes started when I was in high school. I was involved with Civil Air Patrol. I was also a ham radio operator, which I still am. And so I got to fly a lot of backseat in a Piper Cub on search and rescue missions in high school. And then I went and got a degree in college, and I was in ROTC, and I went in the Air Force for a little over 5 years, where I was involved in flight tests in the Air Force. And then I spent quite a few years after that in the aerospace and some aviation world. Along the way, I my wife and I moved to Silicon Valley, and that's where we moved from to come to here. I am now, as I said, retired, but I work with old wood. I'm actually officially their CFO because of my financial background. And I enjoy flying around with David Old and Shiloh Old, who are also both pilots. I'm involved here with some of my church activities. I'm involved with the West Las Vegas School Board. And I also have continued my ham radio activities in the area of emergency communications for the county of San Miguel. So that's a little of my background.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You bet.
Nice to
Who's
meet you.
next?
Mr. Sinclair.
Sure. My name's Sean Sinclair. I'm relatively new to town. I'm born and raised New Mexican, and my family's been in the Albuquerque area for a long, long time. I'm the executive chef and owner of Bar Castañeda Kin, which is going to be opening later this summer. We have the Bar Castañeda Bottle Shop. And then I also own a restaurant consulting business called Brightside Consulting. That's a relatively new venture, but we already have accounts in Colorado, Arizona, and New Mexico. I stay pretty busy. I don't have any, flying experience or much in the way of airport, but I do have a lot of experience in the way of tourism and a lot of ideas on how to improve that. I do have a couple friends that are pilots that I have some emails that I'll share with the group from to just kind of share some information on their perspective of the airport. And I think really what I bring to the table is networking and communication. I'm happy to be, this is my first involvement with volunteering time for the city, but I plan on doing much more of that and being as engaging of a citizen as possible. You know, my wife and I just had a daughter 3 weeks ago. It says Las Vegas on her birth certificate, which we're real proud of and very excited about. And, I plan on being a longtime citizen of the city and helping however I can.
Congratulations and nice to meet you. I forgot one thing on the agenda. I just printed it out. So the Pledge of Allegiance. I don't know if you guys would like to do the Pledge of Allegiance real quick. Keep it official. I don't have a flag, but if you guys don't mind, I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, guys. Okay, so let's go with Mr. Billingsley.
My name's Rod Billingsley. I'm a construction engineer and a pilot. I've been flying since the late 1960s. I've accumulated over 5,000 hours flight time. Most of my experience is flying in New Mexico. As an engineer, I work on projects all over the state, and that includes airport projects. I think I've probably been involved in construction improvements of certainly over half of the public use airports in New Mexico at one time or another. And I've been involved here at Las Vegas for a number of years. I remember, I think the first time I came in, I lived in Santa Rosa before I moved here. The first time I came to the Vegas airport, I think Larry Bro was the airport manager. And I've been essentially using the airport user since then. I think we have a beautiful facility, and I would like to say that I think John has spent a number of years doing things that made the continued operation of the airport possible. And so I think, at least as a user, I want to say to John, I appreciate his efforts. And I know that there have been a lot of frustrations over the years, but I appreciate the city's willingness to at least hear input from the users, from those individuals that want to make this airport one of the bright spots in the community, and at least for me, it is. That's kind of my background. I think we all, to one extent or another, rely on the airport, even for those of us that don't fly. And I think the reason we do that is because of the services that are available through the airport, not only the package delivery, but also the EMS services and other things that the airport makes possible. The fire season is fast approaching. We're currently working on the airport at Silver City, and they're anticipating a fairly busy fire season, and we could and have in the past found that we also have been a critical airport for fire suppression. So with that, I'll shut up. I could talk for another half an hour, but thank you for your attention.
Nice meeting you, Mr. Billingsley, Dr. Brainerd.
Yes, I'm a veterinarian here in town, and I also am a pilot, and I house a plane at the airport, and have for, gosh, it's been about 10 years now. So I agree. I compliment John. He's always around whenever I have questions, this, that, and the other, and he's done a lot of things that kind of get swept under the table. But back to myself, I do enjoy flying. I really would like for the airport to be there for us, and I think this committee is, hopefully we can add to that and help John along the way. And I'm willing to do my fair share in trying to pitch in and see what we can get done. I guess that's it.
Thank you, Bill.
I'm quick.
And Councilor Montoya.
Yes, thank you. Michael L. Montoya, a resident of Las Vegas most of my life. Married to my beautiful wife, Geraldine Montoya, which is a 30-year-old educator at East Las Vegas Schools. She's a head counselor there. We're getting ready to retire. I have 3 beautiful adult children. They all live in Rio Rancho and in Albuquerque. I retired from the New Mexico DOT of 25 years of service 7 years ago, and I've had other management jobs. This is my second term as city councilman. I served in 2002 to 2006, and presently I'm involved with the finance committee. I'm the chairperson there, and then now with the airport committee. Thank you, Daniel, for asking me. And also, I'm pretty involved with the Gallinas Rivers, the Friends of the Gallinas River, in those projects, and also with the Rodriguez Park complex and the recreation. So we're working hard. We've made a lot of changes this last year, including management. We got full-time people working for us. And I think this is the first time that we have had so many committees involved in the city of Las Vegas. And we're getting to where all of them are being functional. With this pandemic, it's been hard. We've had our issues with OMA, and we've had trainings with OMA. So we're on the go. We have I don't know if you all know Mr. Dr. Taylor as our city manager, and Scott Aaron, our new attorney. If not, stop by or give him a call. I'm hoping that the airport is increasingly more important to the community of Las Vegas. I've been into some meetings with Taos Airport, and I believe they're using their airport to the fullest. And I think we have potential of maybe doing other activities within the city that can help bring more tourism through the airport itself. I'm willing here to just help out in every way I can, and I think it's a vital thing for Las Vegas. And we have a new marketing meat plant here in town, and they're transporting their meats to Albuquerque and then shipping them out on planes to other countries. I would like to see the airport, kind of share that profiting business if possible. But I'm here to assist and listen and make recommendations and be a liaison to the mayor and the council.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor.
Thank you, Councilor.
And John Aragon, our airport manager.
Well, my name is John Aragon. I've worked here just over 20 years now. Started here pretty young, and I've made a pretty decent career out of working here. I enjoy my job, and I'm here to try to help you guys see some of your goals happen, and to work with you guys the best we can.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, John. And I'm Daniel Galilea. I'm the Public Works Manager. I'm here to back up John on anything that he needs as far as the airport. John will be taking the lead on the airport committee. Mr. Billingsley is the chairperson. John will be attending the meetings, and hopefully everything goes smooth and you guys can move forward with this committee. They hadn't had one for, I'm going to say 5-6 years, and it's been a while. And it wasn't even a committee at that time. So if you guys need anything from my side, I could go ahead and give you guys my number and stuff like that, and just let John know as well. And it's nice meeting all of you guys.
Thank you, Danny.
Mr. Chairman, a comment?
Yes.
I could add a little bit of an outside perspective also concerning the airport. When my wife and I considered buying some land here and eventually retiring here, which was 17 years ago, I think, we were living in San Jose, California, and I was talking to friends about my plans, and I have several commercial pilot friends, and everybody knew the Las Vegas airport because it was on the VOR routes, both east and west and north and south. And so I started investigating a little bit about the airport, and I was actually incredibly impressed as to what a uncut gem this airport is. I mean, it's got it's got crossing runways, so you don't have to play with crosswind landings and takeoffs. It's got a very long runway, and so I really think there's a lot of potential here. I also, one of the first trips we made here after we purchased our land was to go check out the airport. And so we actually drove up to the airport and drove around many, many years ago. And so I think there's a really, really cool possibilities here with the airport. And there's also some cool community kind of events that I think we could center around the airport. And I'm all in trying to figure out what some of those are and help sponsor some of those and help make them active. And so I think we've got a super uncut diamond there at the airport.
I agree with you. I really do. I think there's no question that we do. Dr. Brainerd's wife, Nancy Wright, and is a member of the 99s, and they're planning to put a compass rose out on the ramp, and
I'm going to go get a picture of it.
He can tell you more about it than I can, but he may have to go. But there are some activities that we're looking at, and I think they will continue. But thank you for the comment. There we go. Here he's showing it to us.
See if I can make it.
This is the compass rose that the 99s are proposing. Bill, can you kind of fill us in a little bit on that?
Okay, hang on. I have to put my earbuds back in. I don't know. I'm not very tech savvy here, believe it or not. All right.
No, we don't believe that.
I'd see if I can make it. Can it show? Did it show up very good?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
we got it, Bill.
This is going to be 40 feet by 40 feet painted on the runway, on the tarmac. And John, he's got a really good idea of where it's going to go. And it's going to really show, it'll be out in front of the FBO and kind of the gas tanks, but off of where planes won't be parking on it. And it's going to look really sharp. The dates that they have pretty much decided to try to do this is May 23rd. It's the second to the last weekend of next month, I think. The 23rd is Saturday, and if that day doesn't work, they'll do the 25th, depending on wind, weather, and because they got to paint. They got a lot of painting to do on the tarmac. It's going to be kind of cool. It will stand out. It'll a little thing to add to the airport, just like you were talking about. It is a gem. So. And kudos to my wife, and she worked with the 99s, which is an association of women pilots. So it'll be a bunch of women out there painting this, women pilots out there painting this on our tarmac on September 23rd, which we should put maybe something in the paper, the optic, whatnot, and let some people know this is going on. But yeah, it's going to be, I think it's kind of, I didn't have the 99s right side up, did I?
No, but I was tilting my head. There we
But
Hey, Bill.
they're all excited about coming and doing that. And John, I don't know if did she relay the dates that they came up with?
It was that. I did talk to her that week, and we came up with that.
Yeah.
So
I think they're still excited. They're ready, man. They want to bring the paint rollers, and Mr. Billingsley has offered to get them lined out with. I'm not sure if it's true or magnetic north that they need and directions, but
I was going to ask you that, whether it was true or Mac. Can somebody set their Mac compass?
I think it's magnetic.
That's the purpose.
That's usually what you do. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. It'd be magnetic north.
The problem with magnetic north is it changes over
Yes.
time, but
Yes.
but that's really what you need is the orientation of magnetic north to swing your compass.
Yeah, park your plane on there and set it. Yep.
And what was the 99 for? What does it stand for?
It's the Association of Women Pilots. And 99 was the first group of women. There were 99 women pilots that established this organization. So they called it the 99s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that's in the works. And so that's kind of cool.
Very, very cool. Yeah.
John got all the paint for them and got everything going. And And yep. So it's all good.
Daniel,
Okay, so I think that the committee discussion of approval of bylaws, do we have any discussion?
Daniel, if I may interrupt,
Yes, sir.
I have one of your staff members there that should introduce herself.
Oh, Rebecca,
Taking our,
Rebecca, would you like to say anything?
Sure, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay, my name is Rebecca. I'm the administrative assistant here at the Public Works Department. I've been with the city for 11 years. And I will be available as well if you have any questions, need any paperwork. I'll be taking the meeting minutes. I will put together the agenda, so I will be working closely with John, Danny, chairman, vice chairman. So any other questions? I think you all have my email and my phone number, so I will be available as well.
thank you, Danny.
and we do have Gilbert DeChamps on there. He's our IT guy. This is on YouTube. I don't know. So I guess we could move forward. Discussion of the bylaws.
I have not seen those. Were they included in the email?
No, so I was hoping to move this on to the next meeting so I could get you guys all the information that we need to get for it. Like I say, this is my first committee. I know Councilor Montoya has kind of guided me here to how to go about it. So I was moved to move the discussion of bylaws till next meeting. Do I have a second?
Oh, I'd
I'll
make that
second that.
motion. Yeah.
Okay, Chairperson, and make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Do you have a second?
Second.
Thank you, guys. Okay, so I know I did miss one of the agenda. On the agenda is the approval of agenda. You guys approved the agenda?
Do I have a
Motion to
motion?
approve the agenda.
Yeah, motion
Motion. All in favor?
is made, yeah.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
We're on the
So-
thumbs up, it seems.
So we've got approval of the agenda. We've got approval to move the review and discussion of the bylaws to next meeting. Is that agreed, gentlemen?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
We did have a vote on that. Is there anything else, Danny, that we need to address?
Right now, I don't know if there's any public comments. Those would have went to John. I know he did have a couple, I think. John?
Yes, I have a email from Beth Rings. She had 4 questions for the committee. She was inquiring as to fees required for anyone using airport facility was one of them. The only fees that we have for the airport facility right now is obviously fuel, cost of fuel, and hangar fees. It is a public use airport. We are funded by FAA and the state. So there's not a lot of fees that we can be charging for use of the facilities. There was another question as far as number of incoming aircraft in and out of Las Vegas, and how we keep track of that information. Unfortunately, there's no real way to take count of flights or operations in and out of the airport, just due to the fact that it's not attended 24/7. So any numbers that you'll see are just estimates on that. She also wanted to know how many employees it takes to run the facility. Right now we have myself and 1 employee. I don't know if that's adequate to run the facility, but we've been making do with that. for now. And then the last one was, does the Las Vegas, New Mexico airport make any revenue or enough revenue to justify the money the city of Las Vegas is spending on it? If so, what are the expenditures? We do make revenue again on the hangars and fuel. I don't know what our expenditures are. I don't have that number for her. But me and Danny are working on trying to get that so that they have an idea of what the airport expenditures are. And as far as does it justify the money the city spends on the airport, I'm not sure that I would be the person to answer that question. So I think that that's probably a question that needs to go further up into the city as far as that's concerned. I do know, again, that we do make profits on hangars and fuel sales. I know that there's a lot of money coming through here through FAA grants, which are usually a 95-5, so 90% state, 90% federal grant money, 5% state, and 5% city. So most of the improvements on the airport are not really costing the city much money. Most of it's paid for. So I don't know if that answers her questions, but that was what we had.
John, was that in the form of an IPR request? Is that the way you're handling this, or was it just a comment?
It was just an email that was sent to me. So yeah, I don't know. I suppose she could go down to the city and request that information. And if that's the way it needs to be done, I can do that. I can have her or anyone else from here on out referred down to the city for public information requests.
Well, I certainly think if it was a IPR request, that would need to be handled by the city staff. I would certainly expect that rather than from you or this committee. Is that your feeling, Mr. Councilman?
Yes, I would suggest that John, you get a hold of her and give her Cassandra's, the city clerk's phone number, and she can guide her through the request and for public information. Yes.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do that, Councilman, and I will refer any other requests for information through Cassandra.
I think that's a good plan.
Mr. Chairman, a comment, please.
Yes, go ahead.
I would be interested in hearing some of that information once it's compiled, especially the dollar amount of grants that the airport gets, the expenditures and the fees that come in, and that kind of stuff, just as a general input. I noticed I have a one-page what I think is the bylaws of this committee. It's called Article 6, Airport Board, and it looks like it was adopted by the city council a while back. But it talks about one of our duties with this committee, this board, is that we report directly to the city council once a month. Maybe we can change that to once a quarter or something like that. But I would think that the city councilors would be interested in a general presentation on the airport, maybe some pictures in case some of them have never been up there, and perhaps some of the discussion on the costs and the fees received here. I don't know, Councilman Montoya, would you agree with that?
Yes, I would agree with that. Most committees and boards report to the mayor and council once a year. So when Daniel brings this back to us at the next meeting, those things can be changed or added on or amended. And that's a good point, because once a month, even if we're meeting quarterly, once a month doesn't make sense at all to report to mayor and council. But I would say maybe twice a year. to give a report would be more appropriate, or even once a year, but not every month. But that can be corrected when we do approve those budgets.
Thank you, Councilman. Are there any other items on the agenda that we need to take care of at this time? John or Danny?
I don't think so. Any member comments?
I do have here. I do have a comment. I just want to make everybody aware that we are live on YouTube. So this is open to the public. And I'm not quite sure if this committee, at the present time, the governor's order and we're in turquoise, and I think we can meet up to, I'm not sure, the last time was up to 10 in one place at one time. So if that number went up now that we're in a different color, turquoise color, but I would suggest that we discuss if we want to meet in person or we want to stay on virtual. And the city chambers is available by appointment if we would want to meet there, and there's enough room for separation of 6 to 8 feet. And that's what the finance committee is doing at the present time, and a few of other committee boards.
There's also lots of separation at the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be fine too.
Yeah.
Would you prefer to meet in person, Dr. Brenner?
It'd be nice. I mean, this was okay right now because as soon as we're done, then I don't have the travel time. I've got, I can get right back to work. So, I'm not good at Zoom meetings, but this worked for today. If we had it, later in the afternoons, I think it'd be okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And, I'll make it happen. I mean, I just was throwing my 2 cents out there.
Okay.
I like in person versus virtual, but we'll do what we've got to do.
I also like that. Sean, what's your feeling?
I'm good with in person. I have my target's my schedule's kind of a moving target, but I'd be happy to make an in-person meeting. I'd also be happy to host it at the Castaneda. We have tons and tons of space.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an idea. We could go out on the new compass roads.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Maybe at our next meeting we could also get a little tour about at the airport, and Rebecca would need to know so that she can advertise it as such, whether we're on a rotating basis in the Castaneda or airport chambers, wherever. She would have to notify the public and put it on. But that'd be fine. All those would.
Mr. Winters, are you okay with an in-person meeting at the airport?
Absolutely. As you can tell, I'm an old guy, so I'm also a little tech savvy, but I appreciate the face-to-face, and I think we could have even a little bit better interaction if we're face-to-face, and we don't have to deal with time delays over the internet and things like that. So yes, I'm very much in favor of meeting at the airport, in the council chambers, and I'm really in favor of meeting at the Castaneda.
And
My wife and I's favorite place, Sean.
Thank you.
Mr.
So would it be appropriate to have a motion, at least for the next meeting, the July meeting, to be at the airport for a tour? And also to discuss the maybe updates to the bylaws? Would that be appropriate for a motion?
I'd second.
Yeah, I'd so move, you bet.
Okay.
And there's a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
question, point of clarification. As far as having meetings at the Castaneda, I'm not quite sure if that is acceptable or not. You'll have to check with the city clerk because it is a privately owned business and we have to have it open to the public. And that kind of stuff, I'm not sure how that works. But you might want I'll throw that out there. You might want to check with
Will, thank you for the advice, Councilman, and we will. Are there any other matters that would be brought before the board at this time? If not, I'd entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Seconded.
Motion by Dr. Brainerd, second by Sean. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Motion carries. Thank you for your attention. Thank you, Danny, and thank you, John. Thank you, Councilman Montoya, and thank you, Rebecca. We appreciate your presence and your willingness to take the minutes. So, with that, I'll say goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Have a good day.